First of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. Um, at this point, it's just the same thing over and over. Um, but first of all, I'm just thankful that I got the chance to be able to make videos for a long time. And as life becomes harder for me to be able to express myself, I knew that my purpose, while I can, is to speak about what's happening to me, because as a target individual, maybe can find strength in that. Who I am as a person in regard of my face and my name, that is not important. I'm just one of many other target individuals who deal with the same old things. And dealing with being a target individual, I've understood that this is way bigger than me. And being tormented in this disgusting way a lot of the target individuals deal with. And the truth is, I find myself lucky that at least this is not happening to me while I'm a parent. I'm so thankful that, as horrible as what I'm dealing with psychologically, the manipulation I'm forced to experience that they do to others, I'm just thankful I'm not a parent going through that, because I couldn't imagine going through that as a parent target individual. But one thing is for sure, these low-life bottom feeders in this program, those who are somewhat visible or at least heard, have failed drastically to push me to accept this manipulation and the retardation that is a wall around me that's full of that. So listen, as I'm a target individual, as I said, that deal with a lot of V2K and synthetic telepathy manipulation, which means that I'm being controlled the way they want it. The part that is supposed to be, these people are supposed to have been able to make me internalize this manipulation, instead of like, not only they are tormenting me by manipulating my brain this way, but on top of that, they want me to internalize this as if I'm not being manipulated. And so, like a lot of target individuals, there's like these clowns that seems like they're around you. There's some of them are around you, who are supposed to gaslight you into internalize that. I call that a wall of like retardation. This bubble of retardation is they want you to be so irrational to think that the people who are known to be doing this kind of manipulations are not doing that to you. And so they utilize somewhat textbook-like brainwashing tactics while utilizing this technology. And it's clear it doesn't take too much of a genius. And I start mocking them. It's like, I'm going to be such a wise person to see what you guys do, because it doesn't take wisdom. Just don't fall for that retardation. It really doesn't take wisdom. It's obvious. What they do is systematic, and they do things the same way over and over and over. And it's like just like a repetition, a repetitiveness of just trying to brainwash you into internalize this manipulation. And they're bad at it. And they utilize some of those people are not fully, they pretend, well, let me just say, they stay disconnected, but it's going to be hard for them to stay disconnected, because they understand at this point it's a life risk to do what they do in front of me. Not to say I'm a threatful person, but I'm just saying that things are not going to go right if they try to do that, because there is no way nobody who still maintains some level of sanity will internalize this. And that's why they have this bubble of stupidity around you. And when I say stupidity, I'm not saying that these people are stupid in a sense, but to gaslight you, they utilize this stupidity to just immerse you in that retardation, so you can be subscriptive of the things that they know to be doing. I have a few different sections of bubble. I have my current bubble here right now is a bubble of like next door neighbors, childlike individuals, very childish, purely stupidity that is immense, but also utilizing this childishness around me to kind of push me to think in this stupid way, to be internalizing this manipulation. Those clowns are retards. I don't know if they force themselves to be this idiotic, or they're like that in real life. Like those people are like, like they could actually be that stupid. But there's also a bubble of those who play that stupid. Which, to see these clowns grown men and women who think like, you think I don't know that you guys do that. Like, who can then be fooled? And those clowns, it's funny because I deal with voice to skull, V2K. What they do is to use the like typical brainwashing tactic and interact with me via voice to skull. It's like, yeah, no, they watched you, they just saw that, and they make themselves talk in this way. And what they try to do is utilize fear tactic, the brainwashing tactic, to just try to make me internalize this disgusting manipulation they force me to experience. Others act differently, like, oh, they just act like so emotional, and they think that they're going to override the reality that they are forcing these things to even women and children. Sorry, they even force that to mothers toward their own children. But they do that rarely, but with you, we didn't have to do that. And they want me to start rationalizing in a way that's so stupid. It's amazing. But let me just say this. What I say sometimes sounds illogical, but imagine somebody who tried to really convince you that this should make sense. And so what they're going to do is they're going to try to sound like this is really makes too much sense. You're just too much of an idiot to understand that. Listen to their rage. And it makes it even more obvious they're just clowns. And so for me, I've been comical. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be super wise, because the way they try to like be condescending, it's like, oh, you're so wise, huh? I was like, I'm extremely wise. The truth is, it doesn't take extreme wisdom. You can't be a retard. Excuse my language for using retardation, but you have to be just to be subscriptive of that and not see the obviousness here. You almost have to be mentally disabled. And so they have these clowns around you that have a rationality of a mental disabled, or at least pushing that rationality. Some of them by design to gaslight you, and some of them are not that far from that. Some of them are gamifying this thing. But I'm like, you would take the risk. Your life could be at risk if you did that in front of me. Gamifying this mental retardation that you want to rationalize into me so I can subscribe to this manipulation. You could lose your life on something that's damn near mentally retarded. But because you want to sell this, be so convincing that you could die, to convince somebody to be mentally retarded to internalize this, you're my guess. Come. Now, I'm not saying I'm here to want to kill anybody, but I'm just saying that this is what will happen, or this is what could happen. Because clearly we see what happens here. Target individuals lose their mind and go crazy. We know we're being manipulated. These gimmicks are not going to make it seem like it's not happening. And with me, they try to be like, oh, everybody's just saying what's happening. It's like, what kind of clown do you think I am? Listen, as a target individual, because you're the one dealing with it, you don't know how obvious things looks as in regard how we're being manipulated. It's super obvious, it's scary. But because you're the one living this manipulation, dealing with that, and the bubble around you is filled with retards, or let me just say this better, people who want you to start thinking this retarded way, you don't understand how obvious this thing is. Sometimes I look at myself in the videos like, my goodness, I look like I can't even see how stupid I'm being. Like, I can see the mental torture. Like, I can see how mentally I'm being manipulated. Like, physically, as I'm looking at a video of me just like going through and then be disturbed, I can see like the torments that's happening in my mind just by the facial feature. I'm like, you truly look like you. Target video is everybody is enjoying participating in that, and they really know what they're doing here. It's not a big secret here. People have fun doing these horrible things, tormenting you like that. It's like a game to them. It's truly a game to them that they enjoy. And it's not just the clowns around you that makes this noise campaign. They love this thing. They enjoy this. They see how we can, anybody. That's why when I say I'm so wise, I was like, you just want me to think that it's super wise to see the clear manipulation here, when in truth it's super obvious. And these clowns here, they behave, the gimmicks. Some of them, I remember not too long ago, they were like, oh, we're not scared. Come on then. Because at the end of the day, they know that there's nothing to lose here from me. So come and take the try. If you're not scared, go ahead. I'll oblige. I fully oblige. Take that risk. It'll be my pleasure to take you to a place that you didn't think you could have gone. But because you're out here playing retards for living, now you are there. This is how things can end for you. I'll welcome that for you. I would love that for you. Very much so. Very much so. If you have nothing going on now, it's okay. I'm okay. Come. I know there's many participants who have nothing going on, but at least today you have nothing going on. But in the future, you can make something happening in your life. Things can. But if you wanna, this is the retardation that you want to lead to that. I welcome you with the utmost welcomeness. Oh, I'm gonna stay wise, because one thing is for sure. As a target major, I know that death is the only freedom for me. And these clowns, if they want to go free with me, let's go. But if you don't, slam the door to all these things over there. But when you come near me, it's a different story. Now, with that being said, it is this bubble that's been dismantled around me. And I understand, even though the bubble is dismantled, the bubble of this retardation around you. And let me just be more specific. What I'm trying to say is, as they being manipulative or manipulating you in this way, this bubble around you is supposed to get you to be acceptive of what they're doing, as if it's not what they're manipulating you to experience. But they start using verbiage like, no, we're just pairing, we're mapping with the bed. It's like, no, you're forcing my brain to have any reaction that you designed for me to experience in these degrading ways to break me psychologically. Just like you do this woman toward their children. And then you try to make me rationalize in a mental retarded way and do the theatrics, just like maybe you just heard somebody slam the door or something that's they're supposed to make me scared and feel like they just didn't do these things to me. It's very gimmicky, it's very theatrical, but it's theatrical and gimmicky for the purpose of gaslighting you. That is what you call the bubble of retardation. This is the bubble of pure retardation. And when you are able to see things for what they're doing here, they love to try to disorient you. So, for example, as I'm making this video, able to express what's happening to me, some perp start speaking to me via V2K, projecting their voices into my brain and try to disorient me. Say random things to take me away from the ability to stay wise. And I say to them, it's like, I'm going to stay very wise, which is something dangerous for you. And it's not wisdom that I have. It's basic it's like beyond, like the lowest level of common sense that you have to retain in order to see things what it is, to see things for what it is, which the typical manipulation is being applied to you. But I'm gonna call it wisdom, because they were trying to be condescending in that way, and they use the same tactics. A lot of teenage, young individual participate in that. They have these ways of interacting with you via V2K the same way other target individuals have literally called out. Having like this like get over it kind of like it's like they try to troll you like they troll people in high school. Other target individuals call out the exact same tactics. So now I'm isolated. Obviously they can do that. They remotely, they think in their mind that it's like really just like it's locking it in. In person, it's like things dawned on them like, and it doesn't take too much to read the room here. They just thought they could override that. So what they do purposely is that they disconnect themselves from reading the room, hoping that it's going to keep them going and able to do their things and not feel idiotic at this point, and expecting the result are going to be different. But then in real time, danger, because obviously I'm not internalizing this, but it doesn't take a genius to see that. So these purposely try to just escape from the fact that I know that there's no way that you can make somebody internalize this. It's not just me being a wise person. I don't know how many target individuals will ever subscribe to these things. I don't think majority will. I don't think I'm a super genius to recognize the obvious manipulation here. But it's that obvious. But they use these clowns. I think if I'm disconnecting myself away, I'm just going to continue thinking like, oh, yeah, now everybody believe we don't manipulate the brain. In truth is, some of them even mock me. Some of them like, oh, it's a war, we are torture. And the best part is like when they're like, no, we proved that everybody thinks like everybody knows what you guys know to be doing, and everybody loves to partake in this because it's fun. You're like a toy that everybody can play with. And when that toy wants to show, be noticing like you guys are a bunch of trash, they manipulate you in a certain way. It's like, oh, but we're doing that because look at that. It's like, you just enjoy playing with people's brain. And you're not the only one. And there's nobody you have to prove this to, because everybody wants to involve themselves in that and play with that toy and torment that toy in whatever disturbing ways and feel like gods. They really want me to think that us, this little nobody in this fucking apartments here are the ones like, yeah, God will just believe as they believe as a trash. If you can be involved in this, who cannot? They want me to be a retard. And the wisdom of that, having that knowledge, like, oh, you are just really the bottom feeder in this whole thing. Especially this like teenage nobody. This man child, they're like nothings. But they want me to think, this little nothing have proved to everybody else that little trash ass. It means that you're the bottom feeder in the whole thing. All everybody knows. And enjoy this. You're just this retard that's supposed to play you're supposed to be the wall of retardation around this person. Make yourself talk the way you want, and this purpose have this different fashion to try to interact with me via V2K. They make themselves sound menacing. They try to make themselves sound very childish. They try to make themselves sound very sensible. They have all different tactics that are all like a failures to try to gaslight me, to internalize this. Doesn't take a genius. I know that they love to try to be condescending. It's like, oh, you're so smart. It's like, no, you're just so obvious. Oh, but I accept to be super wise. I'll stay very wise, but I'm not gonna fool myself. You guys are just that obvious. I don't want to make myself believe that I'm such a genius for obviously seeing what they do, because they clearly do that. And target individuals stay strong, because some of us fall for it, but most of us don't. And be able to see these clowns for what they are. It's so amazing. For example, I don't have my other camera, but 2 seconds ago, I'm shopping for a mop. And there's a little girl running. I'm like, oh, immediately. I said, they start stimulating me. And then again, there's like a little boy, a little baby boy. They don't manipulate me to get the stimulation. And like, you see little girls is real. But little boys is fake. I mean, they really think that's, okay, we can just now manipulate just toward one like gender, like one of the little girls. Like what? And they have a wall of pure retardation around you. It's supposed to make me think, but if it was us, you'll have the same stimulation. This is the kind of stupidity I deal with, and sometimes they do it toward little boys. So it was whatever they want. The stimulation and sensation is going to be implanted the way they want it. They will try to bring up this Halle Berry son that my memories are twisted in different ways. And then I see and they do all the same thing. It's like, oh, we see that parallel with this. Like, you're just playing my brain, it's stimulating me. There was like this little Philippine kid, and they tried to give me stimulation. Like, he mapped, like, remember the Halle Berrys? And it's just them playing with my brain. And then they send this concept. Now there's something after analyzing and assessments. We're just not doing anything to you. Trash. You design experiences that are concocted to force, that concocted in ways to experience something this degrading. And then you play the protector of children. It doesn't take a wise person to see that. But please come think that you fooled so many people around and like, oh. Because they purposely retard themselves in a way to present themselves as like, oh my gosh, you just see me. They think that you're gonna be like, okay, that makes sense. Sorry for this animation I just said, but they really want you to be like, oh, okay. Let me be the wisest person around here, which I'm not. Just around here, everybody participate and enjoy participating in how they can torment my brain as they torment target individual's brain the same way. It's the same thing. And they're like, no, but we pair it as like even the way they want you to rationalize, like, okay, what we do is when you see a child, we pair with something else that you expect, and then bang, and then we pair this together. And it's like, what you are. You want me to rationalize that? I should make sense that you are making my brain experience something that you're putting in, but it's paired from so. I'm gonna say super wise. I'm telling you, these clowns are retards. And you know, it is a group thing, so you clearly know that. This is they stay in the state of retardation together, and you should hear when I'm on the call with like some of the coworkers how they like excite each other and stay super animated. And when obviousness, what they do is so obvious, they start talking about how I'm gonna be tortured, yeah, you're gonna be beat up, they're gonna punch you, they're gonna kick. It's like, what? Okay. So you want me to not notice that what you're saying here is not because you try to use fear tactic to make me subscribe to that? You want me to get lost in how I'm going to be kicked, castrated, whatever, all this torture you have set up to make me internalize this? Like, I don't, like, who cannot see what you're doing here? Do you think that this is not because you're trying to compensate for how obvious you manipulate my brain? And because you don't want to keep me wise? You start talking about things that would take my wisdom away from wisely understand what you guys do. To think about how I'm going to be kicked. Like, do you think it takes wisdom to know that? Listen, I don't think I'm an idiot, but I know I'm not like a super genius. And that's not wisdom that's needed here. It's the bare minimum common sense. And I understand why it's like over and over doing it. Because they want to override you with pure retardation. To internalize this manipulation, and they utilize a lot of retards, a lot of childlike retards. Listen, they're so disconnected that unfortunately, so while ago, 2019, not so while ago, but a while ago, when this stuff happening, I almost cracked and I broke down. I'm gonna be honest, I thought about killing myself at some points because I couldn't deal with this disgusting manipulation. I was like, I'd rather die than deal with this thing. I wrote a whole suicide letter. I bought sleeping pills and things like that. You know what saved me? The testimonials of other target individual. I was like, I can't do that because I'm already breaking down. But this Mariana target individual, has been going through the same thing as me, even longer than me and worse than me. And she's fighting and being strong. And she refused to kill herself as they forced her to, they tell her to do that. She's saying the exact same thing as me. She even used the word pedophilia type of torture. And that's why I'm using that word. And so I was like, no, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die fighting. I'm gonna make all the videos. But I'm not scared of death, obviously. Because I understand death for me is how this is gonna end. Because as target vigil, most of us, not all of us, I don't want to demoralize any target vigil. But for most of us, or at least I should say this, for a lot of us, I don't want to demoralize anybody in this program. Fight to the end. I don't want you to give up. A lot of us, though, unfortunately, this is for life. We'll be tortured and tormented for the rest of our life. So for a lot of us, we understand that death is going to be the only freedom. But I do not want to push anybody to kill themselves. Fight till the end, because you could be one of those maybe few who get out of this, survive this. And keep that hope to fight all the way to the end. For me, I don't care about that. They're dying. I'm not saying I'm suicidal, but death has been something that slowly have been desensitizing me. And you can clearly hear that if I was writing a letter of suicide and this and that, you can clearly hear how death to me is no longer something to be fearful. I understand that perhaps that is the only way of freedom for me. So I'm not scared of dying. And they know that very well. These clowns are still to maintain this gimmick that they're so adventurous. Oh, we're gonna murder you. I'm like, okay. First of all, in a lot of videos, you heard me saying that they are riding my organs. I just used the restroom. I saw things in my that just didn't look good. They're slowly killing me. And still talk about, oh, we're gonna murder you. And so the reason why they disconnect themselves like that is so they can maintain that wall of retardation. Because who would be like, oh, we're gonna murder you? Who was dying and who thought about killing himself at some point? Like, that would scare somebody, like, in this situation. But they say these things to stay in character of this gimmick that they've set up. And they use this wall of retardation to try to break you down. And I told them, it's like, I'm going to stay very wise, so prep yourself if you do this thing in front of me. Unless you're willing to just go that route all the way, because I will take you there. There's no problem with me. I will stoop to that level if needed. You're the only one who have an option here. But I'm going to warn you. I will, with so much hate, so much rage, it's up to you. Stay disconnected and play that game. Listen, that's not something I want to, but listen, when somebody's in that situation, there's so much you can tolerate before you crash out. And if you crash out when you are not healthy and things are already, it's actually like an easy way out. Now, I'm not condoning that. Target just stay strong. Do not harm yourself. Do not harm others. But we all have a limit of what we can tolerate. Now, this participant have an option to live any life they want. If they choose that, it's their choice. I don't have a choice. I don't have any choice. I don't. So it's going to be an easy decision that was offered to me. But people who had a decision over those. Now, I've been manipulating this way. It's disgusting, disturbing. I understand that's what they're going to do. They can. The best part is like when they try to create mental battles. For example, they did this stimulation toward this. Maybe I'll make a video showing what they do. Like 6-year-old girl, and they would try to really try to make me look at this kid in a provocative way. Thank God there was a dog in the way, because they would try to force perception, and even try to look at the chest of a child. You'll see. Stimulate me though first. Boom. And I was like, oh. Then the little boy, no stimulation. I was like, oh, you see, we just paired them and mapped it. This is like trash. Let me be just so wise and say, what you did is you stimulated me, made me have those sexual arousals that you can manipulate my brain to experience by manipulating the brain the way you can manipulate the brain in this program. And then when the little boy came up, you didn't do that. You see how wise I am? The genius that I am? The intellectual that I am? Guess what's going to happen when you come near me and play this game? Oh, let me guess. This happens. They do this thing where I guess it's not gaslighting. Where they say, yeah, like, oh, yeah, wait. I'm guessing you're just trying to disorient me to be unable to be able to assess things for what they truly are as this obvious way. You gotta be strong. Because this clown think they can really surpass this. And then sometimes they're like, oh no, but he did this. It's like, oh, let me be wise. The people involved in something where children get sexually tortured are trying to play justice seekers. The people involved in a program where burning genitals is just not fair. Genitals of children. Let's just say, they would probably make you experience things degrading, and they're probably not good. It's not something good for children. I guess, is that fair? What does it mean that fair is? That maybe torturing children is fair. And that's why they're in this program. Fucking clowns. Maybe it's fair for me to think that the same people who are here burning genitals of children, known to force people to have sexual arousal toward children, are doing that to me, and then make it look like they protect children and try to look for whatever they can to paint themselves as unfairly people involved in the program that burn genitals of children but protect children. I'm going to be wise. I will never internalize this manipulation. That it's fair to see that you can make me experience it whenever you want it. If you want me to have toward little girls, make me have this stimulation that you can do. If you don't want me to have that, you will not make me have that. If you want me to have sexual arousals toward little boys, you can make me have that. But if you choose not to, you will not make me experience that. And then you can have these clowns that will behave in theatrical way, slamming door, doing whatever they want, into make me subscribe to this. And then if I see them for the trash that they are, let me guess, try to vilify me whatever way they can, pull whatever they can use. When it comes to, like, they say, like, you grow up and all that, they try to bring up me in, well, they try to do a few things. For one, they try to falsify what I did as a child. Try to exaggerate what I did as a kid. Which, you hear the honking. I'm supposed to think that that is how they're matching and mapping my brain, when in reality, it's what they try to use to make me subscribe in this genius way from people who are known to be, rarely do that to mothers toward their children. Try to exaggerate what I did as a child, or bring up me in my youth, from a high schooler to a college student to a nightclub, to make me subscribe to these manipulations. But the people who are, by the way, unfairly burning genitals of children. How am I gonna process this as a wise man? I wonder. Would I look at these clowns as the low life, gaslighting me into internalize this manipulation, and gaslight me to forget that they torture children unfairly? And I should just tolerate that from these people. I guess it's not fair. Because I'm still wise. And I'm going to handle that the wise way. to handle people like that. I don't think it's just not fair to torture children. So to these clowns, stay disconnected. I welcome that. Target individuals, stay strong. Do not internalize this nastiness. Understand that the people who try to gaslight you are people who are unfairly torturing babies and women and have been known to manipulate people in these degrading ways, and then try to make you internalize in these retarded rationalizing ways and have a wall of retardation. This is not some alien. This is not some witchcraft happening to you. This is not a cult doing that to you. This is the governmental program utilizing human beings as test subjects to develop technology and tactics of breaking people down. And you use a lot of this trashy low life. And fairly, some of this teenage trash mock. You know, some of the way they torture and break people down. If you're a parent, the reason why I'm so thankful I'm not a parent in this program, being tortured, is because sometimes what they do is, as a parent, they torture your children or use your children as a way to break you psychologically. Sometimes directly harm your children. So you are here having to witness your child being harmed via this technology to increase the psychological breakdown of the parent. They have this teenage trash mocking and laughing about the sufferings of these children because psychologically they're trying to break you down. So having some underage trash laughing around as you see and witness your child being suffering. Some of the tactics is, and apparently, you know, it's rare, so I should just forget about it. They make parents have sexual arousals toward their own children, so they can feel disgusting about themselves, and their parenthood is all questioned. Yeah, I'm gonna be wise and assess this information. Those are the people who are justice seekers. And by the way, if they bring up anything else for me, for example, right now, says some purpose, like, oh, for brainy, for course, I go, yeah, I'm gonna allow people in a program where a lot of target individuals are female, not most, but a lot, or a good percentage, maybe half of target individuals are female, where some of the horrible things you can hear is happening to them. And by the way, because this is a psychological tactic, it's not just physically torturing you, but psychologically torturing you. They understand the concept of, if there is female participating in the torture of women, it almost normalizes the horrible things that those women go through. So a lot of target individuals do call out the fact, female target individual, there's a lot of female participating in what's happening to them, because they want psychologically for the woman to see this thing that's happening to them as something normal, as just life. I have this trash claiming they're doing it for Britney. Let me guess, as a wise person, I can only imagine what will happen if Britney or Courtney was put in this program. I'm gonna be wise. To this trashy low life, come, you're really heroes. I'm gonna show you how much of a wise person I am. Stay strong, target individual.